Tonight, the Access Hollywood tape that nearly derailed candidate Trump, now rocking the White House. NBC News has learned the FBI agents who raided the office and residences of Michael Cohen, the president's personal attorney, were also seeking any communications between Mr. Trump and Cohen related to the 2005 video.
Grab him by the...
Access Hollywood is an NBC Universal program. Law enforcement sources say investigators were also after Cohen's records about payoffs to a porn star and a playmate to stay silent about their alleged affairs with Mr. Trump, which the White House has denied. Cohen telling Donnie Deutsch today,
he says, I'd rather jump out of a building than turn on Donald Trump.
Mr. Trump has been fuming ever since the Monday raid, which stemmed from the investigation by special counsel Robert Mueller, openly musing about firing Mueller. And sources familiar with the matter say privately mulling the ouster of the Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein, who's overseeing the Russia probe. The White House not giving any job assurances.
I don't have any personnel announcements.
And lashing out.
The president certainly has been clear that he has a very deep concern about the direction that the special counsel and other investigations have taken.
Now tonight, new pressure from Capitol Hill, a bipartisan group of lawmakers proposing legislation to protect the special counsel's job.
The American people deserve answers. They deserve to know what happened. This needs to be done fairly and thoroughly.
This is exactly the sort of situation where an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure.
Legal analysts say firing Mueller won't solve the president's legal problems.
Even if the president were to get rid of Mueller, he can't stop those indictments and criminal cases that Mueller has already initiated. Those will move forward.
When asked if the White House would support legislation protecting Mueller, Sarah Sanders was noncommittal. Now, as for Michael Cohen, NBC News has learned that search warrant, the scope of it is much wider than initially believed, which means there could be new details to emerge in the coming days. Important to point out, Cohen has not been charged with any crime.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here. And click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.